Welcome to week 3 of our home learning. We're going to actually be writing our story this week, so I'm looking forward to that. First of all, we're going to think about what is the purpose of our writing. So, who is our writing for? Pause the video while you have a discussion with your child. The purpose of our writing is to entertain. It is for an audience, whoever's going to read our story. This could be a brother or sister, parents, your teachers. We'll all be looking forward to seeing it when you come back to school. So now we're going to go on to our phonics. As each sound comes up, we'll say it together and then repeat it. I. Qu. Qu. Ng. Ng. Split vowel digraph. I. W. W. This sound can also be h. H. Now, one of the words we're going to be using a lot in our writing this week is the word because. And we have a rhyme that helps us remember it. Big elephants can always understand small elephants. And if you look at the beginning of each of those words, that helps us to spell because. Now we're going to practice that. I'm going to say it, then we're going to say it together, and then you're going to say it. So first of all, my turn. I say the word because is spelt B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Now we say it together. We say the word because is spelt B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Now it's your turn. You say. So the purpose of our writing is to entertain the reader. Books are for enjoying and making them smile. And this is the story that we'll be writing this week. Now I'm going to read it through to you again because the more you know the story, the better you know the story, the easier it's going to be to write it and also to change it. So you can join in with me if you want to, or you can just listen. Once upon a time, there was a grumpy dragon. He was in a huff because he wanted to be a hero. He was fed up with capturing icky, frilly princesses and fighting brave, shiny knights. One day he went for a walk through the woods and he saw the gingerbread man. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the mean, greedy fox. The gingerbread man told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. Next, he saw a boy climbing a beanstalk. It was Jack. He wanted to be a hero and save him from the nasty, huge giant. Jack told him to go away because there is no dragon in his story. Suddenly, the giant sneezed. Achoo! It went dark. Then the dragon had an idea. He was scared, but he really, really wanted to be a hero. He took a deep breath and fire burst out of his mouth and he lit up the sun. A hero at last. Now, these are some words that we might be using in our story today, and we've got some synonyms for them. They are words that have a similar meaning. And the children have been doing Word of the Week all term, and some of these have been the words they've been using. So we'll just go through a few of them now, and you can bear them in mind for later on. So grumpy is a word that's in our story, but other words that could mean the same as grumpy. Grouchy, fed up, crabby, crotchety, bad-tempered, irritable, and cantankerous. I like the sound of that last one. Other ways to say in a huff. We could say moody, miffed, in a strop, in a snit, or sulky. And also some words that mean the same as brave. Heroic, courageous, fearless, plucky, valiant, daring, bold, and intrepid. These aren't the only ones, but they're some of the more common ones that you might like to think about. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to step out our story. And it's just the first part, which is once upon a time there was a grumpy dragon. He was in a huff because he wanted to be a hero. He was fed up with rescuing icky, frilly princesses and fighting brave, shiny knights. Now, when we step out our story, we can put actions to it. So you might like to have a few moments to think with your child about what actions you're going to use. There's a little video here of me doing some actions. You can do the same ones if you like, or you can choose your own. So pause the video to think of some actions. Now, stepping out the story. So we're going to step out our story, the beginning part. So once upon a time, there was a grumpy dragon. He was in a huff because he wanted to be a hero. He was fed up rescuing icky frilly princesses and fighting brave knights. Now, the idea of stepping out is so that we really get the story into our head. And sometimes if you get a bit stuck, somebody can do the actions for you. That reminds you what you might be writing next. So you can step it out as many times as you want to. Then when you're ready, we're going to move on to the writing. Now, our first sentence is, once upon a time, there was a grumpy dragon. Now, I've already put it here on the screen for you. So, once upon a time. Now, time is our split vowel digraph there. So, we need to remember that is our spelling. There was a grumpy dragon. Now, the word was, the W is followed by an A. Very often, if we want W with an O sound after it, it's W-A. So, if I write that so you can see how to form the letters. So I am starting with a capital letter for once. Once upon a time. Now remember our split vowel digraph. I'm with the E on the end. There was, now it's not w-o, remember, it's w-a. A grumpy. G r a m p. Now the E sound at the end, it's a two-syllable word, 2 beats. Grumpy has a Y sound. Dragon. D r a g o n. Full stop. Now I'm going to check my sentence. Once upon a time there was a grumpy dragon. Now I need a comma here after my little time phrase. Once upon a time there was a grumpy dragon. That helps your audience to take a breath there, and it helps them with their expression. So if we look back at this sentence, you can see that there's a red line now appeared under the word grumpy. And that's because that is a place where your child can edit their story, change the word to make it more of their own. So what you're going to do now is you're going to write that sentence in your book. And remember, if you want to change that, you can change that word to make it more your own story. So pause the video while you write your sentence. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes for this one. Moving on. My next sentence, he was in a huff because he wanted to be a hero. Now, we've got our beginning of our sentence with a capital letter. We've got a full stop at the end. He was, remember the spelling for was, in a huff, because big elephants can always understand small elephants. He wanted to be a hero. Now that's our basic sentence. Once again, you can change that if you want to. And to help, we have got some lines to show you where you might change that. He was in a huff because he wanted to be a hero. So I might change that to he was in a sulk, or he was feeling sulky, or he was in a strop because he wanted to be a hero. It's your choice how you would like to change that. Remember, there are some words earlier on in the presentation, so you can click back through to look at them if you need to. Pause the video again while you write your sentence. Now, moving on to our last piece of writing for today. Remember, it's he was fed up capturing icky frilly princesses and fighting brave shiny knights. So looking at the writing again, he was fed up with capture. Now, capture, which would normally be U-R-E, but we take off the E when we add ing. So capturing, icky, frilly, ick-e for ill-e. They both have 2 beats to them, so the E sound at the end is a Y, and they are 2 adjectives, so we need our comma. Princesses. Now there is a C in the middle there. It's a soft C because it's followed by the letter E. And then we have our fighting with our trigraph there. Brave is a split vowel digraph word. Shiny, again, has our 2-beat word, so we've got the E sound there. And then knights, there's a silent letter at the beginning that we don't pronounce. We've got 2 adjectives here, so they need a comma. So he was fed up with capturing icky, frilly princesses and fighting brave, shiny knights. Now again, you can change some of these parts of the story. So icky and frilly. The princesses don't have to be icky and frilly. They could be silly, giggly princesses. And we've got brave, shiny knights. Maybe you could change it to courageous, armour-clad knights, or courageous, fierce knights. Whatever you wanted to do with it, remember you can use the words to help you. So this is the last part of our story today. It has a conjunction in the middle to join the main part of our sentence to our second part here. It all makes sense as one sentence. When you've finished your sentence, make sure you check it and read that it makes sense. Then go through, read everything you've written today, check that it makes sense and that you haven't made any mistakes like capital letters, full stops, spellings, and maybe might think about changing some of your words. That is what we call editing. I hope you've enjoyed writing your story with me today, and we'll carry on with it tomorrow.